Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is ending this year. It's time for the latest news out of Japan. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is about a man named Satoru Mikami who works as a salaryman. After a tragic event, he finds himself transported to a magical world called the Central World. There, he is reborn as a slime and takes the name Rimuru Tempest. The series plays with common isekai themes, sometimes following them seriously, and other times changing them in unexpected ways. It also introduces well-developed and interesting characters. Rimuru has a special power that allows him to copy the appearance and abilities of anything he eats, making him very powerful. However, even with this incredible ability that could change the world, he still thinks and acts like the Japanese salaryman he used to be. Because of this, he often takes on the role of a reluctant hero. That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime has been going on since 2013, and because of how immersive and enjoyable the story is, its popularity over the years has skyrocketed to the point where it can stand shoulder to shoulder with popular shonen titles. You might not know this, but That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime is currently available in 3 different formats: light novel, manga, and anime. The author, Fuse, has been writing the Tensura light novel series since 2013, working hand in hand with the series illustrator named Mitsuba. The anime is adapting the manga, which is drawn by Taiki Kawakami and has 28 released volumes as of January 30th. The TV anime adaptation by Studio 8-Bit began in October 2018 and currently has 3 seasons, with a 4th season currently in production. So this is a franchise that has truly flourished over the past decade, and majority of fans have loved every bit of it, particularly the light novel series, which currently has 22 volumes. But unfortunately, these dedicated light novel fans might experience a bit of a heartbreak in the coming months, as the recent comments by Fuse has indicated that the series will end a lot sooner than most of us thought. On Thursday the 30th of January 2025, That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime author Fuse revealed that his current plans are to end the light novel series with the next volume. The author revealed this through a blog post on the Shousetsuka ni Naro website. Fuse left a comment in the afterword of the latest light novel volume, talking about how he wasn't allowed to finish the latest volume and said he plans to conclude the story this year. The 22nd volume of the light novel released on January 30th, with the comments coming in its afterword. The previous volume, volume 21, released all the way back on October 30th of 2023, which is over a year ago. So Fuse began his comments on the afterword with an apology for the long wait. In the afterword, he explained that he intended to wrap everything up nicely and that he strongly insisted on finishing the whole story before publishing, even if it had to be a 2-part release. However, he stated that this request was rejected by the publishers, who said, "If we wait for that, who knows when it'll be done." He also made comments about how he felt the ruthless side of the industry due to the fact that the commercial side was being taken as a higher priority over the actual creative work. Since he had to push the ending of the volume story to the next volume, he stated that he hopes to finish writing it this year. Fuse had previously said he planned to conclude the story in volume 22, so he also brought up this incorrect prediction. He said part of the reason is that he kept thinking of more episodes that he wanted to include in the story, which he said might happen again for the final volume in a follow-up post on his Shousetsuka ni Naro blog. The light novel series entered its final saga with volume 18, which was released back in March 2019, so the final arc could be covered in 6 volumes as things stand. Luckily, Fuse also said he plans to cover up any narrative gap by writing extra side stories after the main series has concluded. In Fuse's exact words, "It's been a while. Today, multiple releases have come out at the same time." So about the main series, as I previously mentioned, the conclusion has been postponed, but I have a feeling I might be able to wrap it up in the next volume. Since nothing is set in stone, I can't say for sure, but at the very least, I'll do my best to make it an enjoyable work. Since it's the final volume, I'm already nervous that I might forget to include something. At worst, I plan to fill in any gaps with extra side stories after the conclusion, so if there's anything you're curious about, feel free to leave a comment. Of course, I'd also love to hear your thoughts. I'd also appreciate any feedback about the comics and spin-offs. Well then, until next time. Given how popular the series is, it's no surprise that it's become the talk of the town within the anime community. Fuse's handiwork in Tensura managed to capture the hearts of fans all around the world, so the news that it's coming to an end really soon made the majority of fans online feel heartbroken. broken. It's a sad day in history, were the words of a fan online after hearing about this announcement, and several other die-hard Tensura fans are already beginning to mourn the series. Several fans have stated that they wish for the series to continue in some form even after it concludes the main story, begging Fuse to make a follow-up story of character-based spin-offs. One of these fans said, "I just wish the author doesn't end the world of Tensura after this volume, just like how the author of Mushoku Tensei decided to continue the story even after the end of the main story. I pray Sir Fuse does the same." In the case of Mushoku Tensei Jobless Reincarnation, after the main character's story met its end along with the light novel, a spin-off was created titled Mushoku Tensei Redundant Reincarnation that focused on some side characters that weren't explored in the main series. So this fan is hoping that Fuse does a similar spin-off for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime. Given the fact that Fuse himself has promised to make side stories to cover up story gap he may leave in the main series ending, there's a high chance this wish would become reality. Some fans aren't so sad about the light novel ending because they feel that there's still a lot of Tensura to be released in the coming years, as the manga and anime still have a ton of content to adapt. In the words of a fan, I mean that's no big deal. The anime would still have a bunch of content to adapt for a couple more years. Still, this would only satiate the fans who only follow the anime and manga, and the light novel readers would still be left high and dry unless Fuse really decides to make a Tensura Shippuden. Others are actually rejoicing over the fact that Tensura is ending, particularly those who weren't in love with the story. A bunch of fans are doubtful of Fuse's ability to end the light novel in the next volume, as they feel there's a lot to add to the current story, and a few even believe he'd end up pulling in Oda and continuing the series for another 10 years. Because of this concern, many fans have concluded that Tensura will end up pulling a Jujutsu Kaisen and having a rushed and unsatisfactory ending. Some fans don't have this fear, as they feel like the series has already done enough groundwork to end on a high note. One of these fans said, "It would end in volume 23. If the main story goes any further, it will overstay its welcome. It could have ended in volume 22 that just dropped, but Fuse wanted to add more content. There's still side stories to look forward to." On the subject of how the series could end, fans have started coming up with their own interesting speculations and wishes, such as the light novel ending with Rimuru finding a future wife or reincarnating as something else. A fan even predicted that it would end with him waking up in a hospital to realize it was all a dream and realizing that he's now a 65-year-old man who's paralyzed from the waist down. Wouldn't that be crazy? I think we can all agree that this fan needs to chill, because such an ending would only cause chaos within the community. For now, let's hope That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime ends in a manner that satisfies everyone. In other news, anime piracy may be ending.